If you're currently holding CRCL stock, you may want to listen to what I have to say here in today's video. The short sale data is pointing to a continuation of a short cover. Stick around, we're going to talk about it. Also, CRWV, in my last video on the stock, I let everyone know the likelihood of a short cover taking place here on Friday. That's exactly what we got, but more shorting did take place on the extra large scale / block orders with a very high short sale ratio, which is the recipe for a massive short cover to take place. Stick around, we're going to talk about the likelihood of that actually occurring here next week. And far as RGC, I know the recent retracement from that 98 high has shaken a lot of investors out of their position, but a lot of people have been asking, is it the time to buy or fly? Stick around, we're going to talk about it. But before we do so, don't forget to smash that like button. It really does help the channel grow. We're shooting for at least 100 likes here in today's video. We did get that in the last one, so let's see if we can surpass that. First stock we're going to talk about here in today's video, ladies and gentlemen, and that is CRCL. Now, again, if you're currently holding the stock, can you do me one huge favor and comment the ticker symbol in the comment section below? And for those that is a part of our Discord server, then you actually caught the CRCL alert in real time, which I alerted back on June 6th for the entry price of $96, with that price target being 168 plus, with our latest price target being reached and breached here of $240, which I alerted back on June 20th. And as you guys can see here, I'm running as high as that 248 throughout the trading day and running as high as 249 in the aftermarket hours. And with this short sell analysis actually pointing to a very, very, very high short sale ratio, ladies and gentlemen, backed by a capital trend pointing to more shorting than covering going on, we may actually see a continuation of a short cover take place here in CRCL. That's exactly what actually gave us a huge gap up here on Friday. If we go back to the 15-minute chart here, as you guys can see, we have traded majority of the trading day the last consecutive days in that upper canal region. If we go to and zoom in here really quickly, as you guys can see here, this retracement from that aftermarket peak here, we are starting to approach that mid Bollinger Band. What we actually do want to see take place here tomorrow in the pre-market, which we may actually see as this thing actually drift back towards those sub $240 levels in the pre-market, and that can actually kill the possibility of a short cover taking place here tomorrow. Now, what we actually do want to see, ladies and gentlemen, is the stock actually opening up above 248 here during tomorrow's trading, which will force a forced short cover here for CRCL. If we go back to the short sell analysis, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can see here, over 12 million shares were sold short here on Friday, and that is no slouch at all, especially when you're seeing a share price exceed over $200 here. Another thing, guys, you want to pay very, very close attention to, seeing as though that we opened here on Friday, well, that previous open on Thursday was $199. We actually do see, if we go back to our chart here, sorry about that, as you guys can see here, we go to our aftermarket hours for our active buy and active sale. As you guys can see here, that active sale is very, very heavy, which may open the gates for selling pressure here early off in tomorrow's pre-market for CRCL. Like I said before, if we do see this thing actually drift below that 240 early off in the pre-market hours, we may actually see the chances of the short cover die out here. But the likelihood of a short cover does take place, CRCL can actually reach and breach those $270 levels with ease, ladies and gentlemen, and that is seeing a positive reaction from the opening share price. Next stock we're going to talk about here in today's video, and that is CRWV, another stock I want you guys to comment in the comment section below if you are currently holding it, which I also alerted over in our Discord server back on April 2nd for the entry price of $54.42. And if we take a brief look and just check out the day chart on that, as you guys can see here, hitting a high of $187 here on Friday, and that stock, ladies and gentlemen, was alerted back on this day here. Since then, the stock has returned over 249%, and that is what you call a home run play, ladies and gentlemen. And YouTube can get my alerts in real time. Remember, the sign up link is in the description below, and I will have the Discord link pinned in the comment section. But far as CRWV, like I said in the beginning of this video, we spoke about this stock in my previous video, speaking about the likelihood of a short cover occurring here on Friday. That's exactly what took place, but we did actually get more shorting, ladies and gentlemen, than covering here on those block orders in a wide margin. In fact, as you guys can see here, 38.98 million in net outflow in favorment here on the block orders for the trading day of Friday. But looking at that short sell analysis, 15.11% is very, very aggressive when we consider a short sale ratio, with a total of 4.72 million in total trading volume. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to take into consideration that in the beginning of May, all right, the beginning of May, we were seeing total trading volume in CRWV. All right, that was in the beginning of May. During this time, guys, right when the breakout first kicked off here, we were seeing total trading volume around 6 million and 5 million, and to see here on Friday the total short volume around 4.72 million, ladies and gentlemen, that is incredibly high. In fact, that total trading volume of 31 million is also incredibly high, especially since we're around those $200 share prices. We see what has happened in CRCL as the share price continued to rise. We continue to see a steady decline in total trading volume as time goes on. Total opposite, which is currently happening here in CRWV. As we continue to see this share price go higher, we continue to see backed by even higher trading volume. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the perfect recipe for a massive short cover wave to take place here this week. Another thing I want you guys to take pay very close attention to is the options chain here in CRWV. More so, the $200 strike for the expiration of June 27th. I do feel as though that this strike price open interest is going to continue to swell. As you all know, Friday we did end with a huge amount of contracts currently in the open interest, and majority of those contracts, ladies and gentlemen, is currently in the money, which can force, and I do believe we're going to see a gamma squeeze take place here in CRWV, depending on if we can cross those $200 levels before Wednesday. If that does take place, it's going to put huge pressure on those market makers to cover those calls. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, you may want to consider looking into CRWV. I do feel as though that the stock stands a very great chance to actually reach and breach those $220 levels here before Friday, and the likelihood of the gamma squeeze taking place. Last but not least, what we're going to talk about here in today's video, and that is RGC. And again, if you're currently holding this stock, stop what you're doing, drop down in that comment section below and comment the ticker symbol. Now, this stock was also alerted over in our Discord server, ladies and gentlemen, which I alerted back on March 13th for the entry price of $6.85. And if we just take a brief look and check out the day chart, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can see here, that alert came out on this day. The stock ran as high as $950, retraced back to $5.95, and had a stock split, which forced the stock back down towards $15. And from that $15, it shot back up towards $90, which gave you more than 5,000% in gain, ultimately taking a $1,000 investment and turning it into $500,000 in one single trade, ladies and gentlemen. And again, these are what you call home run plays, and you too can get these alerts in real time. All you have to do is stop what you're doing, drop down in that description below, click that Discord link, and let the gains begin. But far as a buy or sell situation currently for RGC, what we're currently looking at here is the 4-hour tick, but we're going to go back to the 2-hour here. No, sorry about that. We're going to do the 30-minute and get a cleaner look here at the 30-minute tick. As you guys can see here, from that $98 peak. I'm sorry about that. And if you made it this far in the video, can you please drop in the comment section below the words "still here with you, Obi"? The comments really do help the channel grow. In fact, it forces YouTube into recommending the video to new viewers. Thus, we get more subscribers. So with that being said, guys, please don't forget to smash that like button and leave a comment. And if we just get those interval stats from that peak to that bottom of 32.13, ladies and gentlemen, that is a retracement well over 49%. In fact, if we do it to the 35.23, then ladies and gentlemen, this is over a 52% retracement from that $98 high, which may come and cause a lot of concern whether to keep RGC or sell it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with this huge retracement that has taken place these last 3 trading days, which have made a great situation for a short cover to take place. I know a lot of people may call that situation a bouncing dead cat, but in this situation, ladies and gentlemen, with this retracement from that $98 high, and if we take a brief look and check out that day here really quickly, the day that we hit that $98 was on the 17th. If we take a brief look and check out that day, which was here, as you guys can see here, that short sale ratio 9.79%. The next day, 9.810 the following day. And just looking at the price action, those short positions have been stacked, which gives shorts a great opportunity to lock in those gains by returning those shares, what can ultimately cause a short cover wave and can cause a slight uptick in share price for RGC overall this week. If that does take place, RGC stands a very great chance to contest those $70 levels here before Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. And if that doesn't take place, I do feel as though that the stock stands a very great chance to consolidate between $25 and $29 here on Monday. So with that being said, if you haven't already, don't forget to consider joining our Discord server. Don't forget to consider subscribing to the channel. I do make daily videos on stock tips, alerts, and news. So if that interests you, hit that subscribe button, and may the gains be with you.